Hi there guys, how's it going? So in today's video we're going to be doing something that we've taken from Multiplayer Mondays as a little bit of an influence, and we're going to be building a vehicle to go up against big Farmbots, and then we're going to just go in and get on with it. I'm going to be using vanilla components and we're just going to see how it goes. But first of all, if you guys would like to subscribe, that'd be absolutely awesome. We are on the road to 1,000 and we are almost there, but I won't keep you. We're going to go jump into this and we'll start building. I'll try and talk you through why I'm building it and how I'm building it. I'm not giving myself any limitations and I'm only using vanilla parts. So the idea here is we're going to be using a lot of tier 3 concrete because we're going to need quite a weighty base because we want to be able to sit nice and low and make the bottom kind of heavy so that we're very low center of gravity, because I kind of want to put a flail on this that's higher than the red farm bot that we can kind of spin and drop down on top of it. And I know that that is going to be pretty heavy because we're going to build this entire thing out of tier 3 metal and tier 3 concrete, because the tier 3 metal should protect us from the explosion and from the hits as much as it can, and the concrete is there just to keep us a weight. It's a very weighty thing. So the idea here is I'm going to make it nice and big because we want to be able to, if we get hit with that chemical launcher and we jump out of the seat, we want to still be inside the vehicle. We want to be able to get back onto the seat without getting thrown around. So I'm going to try and bury the seat in a little bit just to give me a little bit of a height as well, trying to bring the gravity down a little bit to keep those wheels nice and firm on the ground. And yeah, we'll see how we get on with this. So I'm going to make the front out of tier 3 metal actually, rather than doing it as concrete. That way the guy can kind of run at us and he can hit into us and it won't really affect us too much, hopefully. So this will keep us nice and sturdy against him, and it will give us something to potentially draw him into as well. Imagine it being like a wall and we kind of get almost behind him and pull him towards us to do damage. So that'll help us be protected a little bit there. So we're going to be looking at making this thing a 6-wheel drive, and we're going to use the suspension glitch steering because we're going to be carrying all this weight around. We kind of need a way to basically hold us all together. So we're going to throw all the wheels on and the kind of like 6 wheels drives over here, but we've also got to protect these as well. So I'm gonna run a load of tier 3 metal around these things just to protect them, because if we lose our wheels we're going to be a sitting duck and we don't really want to do that. So we're just going to overlap the front just to add a little bit of layer to it, because I know these things should be able to break through it eventually. But my god, that is heavy. We'll just have to play with the suspension really, just to tweak it, just to see that it lifts us up enough. I am going to be using 2 electric engines to run this. I'm going to use one for the left hand side and one for the right hand side, just simply because, I don't know, it'll give us that little bit of extra grunt. Probably wouldn't actually make any difference over one engine, to be fair, but it's a bit of peace of mind in a way. It's a pretty big place. Hopefully there's enough room in here. If the chemical cannon does hit us, hopefully there's enough room in here for me to pop out of the seat without actually being thrown or getting stuck in the vehicle. We'll just protect the wheels and we'll throw a little lid on top of this thing just to kind of give us a roof. And then I'll get to building the flail. So now we're just throwing in the motors. We're going to be, like I say, we're going to be using 2 electric motors, and we're going to be obviously using 2 battery packs just to keep these things well and good. And somehow, somewhere along the line, I've managed to make this a really unequal length. And then I go and miss the hole anyway, but never mind. It is what it is. We'll link all of these bad boys up, and then we'll look at doing steering. Like I said, I'm going to be using suspension glitch steering. It's just easier. I know not everybody's a fan of it, but in all fairness, it is just a lot easier to do, especially when you're trying to do something this big. If you've got to work out your steering wheels and room for them to steer but also be protected as well, it's just a lot easier to do suspension glitch steering. So I'm going to use, I don't know, probably 4. We'll see. I'll start off with 4 and then see how we get on. I'm not entirely sure how well I'm going to be able to move around in here. I seem to be getting stuck on the seat quite a bit, but we'll have to see how it goes. Okay, so we'll pull this thing off the lift. Now we've got it all hooked up and we'll jump in and give it a go. And of course it does help if you notch up the engine so you've actually got speed rather than sitting around going somewhere. That should be enough. It seems to go alright. Turning might be a little bit slow. You got to think, if we're going to get attacked by more than one of these things, it might be a little bit slow and sluggish to turn around. But it seems to move okay. It seems reasonably well balanced, so I'll have to throw in a couple more and then see how it goes again. And then when we're happy, we'll get onto, like I say, the device designed to kill. So we're just quickly throwing kind of a side and a roof on, and I get this is going to be a little bit overpowered, but we'll see how we go. So if we just jump in, jumping out the seat, we kind of smash our head on the top of the ceiling. That might not be a good sign for us. That might cause us problems if we get hit with the chemical cannon. But there is still enough room within to stay inside it looks, so we should be good. Adding that extra weight has really made a problem for us. It has really made it a little bit more heavier, but we'll see how we go. So the whole idea behind the flail is we're going to put a couple of pistons coming down like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a rotating thing between the two of them. And the reason why that is it means that we can kind of push down on top and spin the crusher around the bot and hope that we can kind of smash him up a bit. So I'm going to make the crush plate thing out of concrete. I think if it's nice and heavy, obviously when it comes down on the pistons, it'll help it. As well as when it spins, it'll kind of spin with a little bit of force, and the weight will help it smash these boys into the ground. And hopefully we should be able to do some damage. So I'm going to put like a four-sided thing on this spinner, just so it's equally balanced and it spins and it doesn't shake us loose. With it being made out of concrete though, it's going to be pretty heavy, and because it is high up, it's going to cause us issues, so we might have to go to the back and kind of level things out a little bit at the back, just to make it a little bit more stable. But trying to reach up the top here is a little bit tricky, but we'll find a way. So now we're just linking up everything to controllers. I'm going to split it on 2 controllers. It'd just be a lot easier rather than it happening all at once. This way it means that the rotation can happen as and when we need it, and likewise we can change the height if we need to. But that is heavy. I thought this would be a problem. So what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to stack out the back with a lot of concrete to balance this out. So we'll just run everything up to where we think it needs to be. But yeah, that's heavy. That's really heavy. So I'm going to have to tweak the suspension and, like I say, try and counterbalance the weight on the back. See where it ends up. Okay, so I've tweaked it a little bit. I've took a couple of lengths of the concrete off the spinner thing. I've thrown a lot of weight on the back. I've also sorted out the pistons so that they're not too long. And this should be it. It's still a little bit rocky, but it's the best that we can do with all the weight that we're carrying. So I think this will be good. I'm going to leave the back open just in case worst comes to worst that we do get flung out. We've got an easy, quick way in. Like I say, I've thrown a lot of weight on the back as well just to try and balance it out a bit. But yeah, just level this bit off, and then there's nothing left to do other than call in the farmbots, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so I've called in a farmbot. We'll just start with one just to see how we get on. But he's looking kind of big. Hopefully we're tall enough. Yeah, we are. So we'll spin it up, and then yeah, we'll just basically flick it down him. He seems to ragdoll really quick. I was expecting him to put up a little bit more of a fight, but we are able to just literally beat the stuffing out of him. We'll back off, get him a chance to come at us. But yeah, no, it works perfectly. We can land it straight on top of his head. We can spin it around. And he ragdolls so easy, so fast, that realistically, the rest of this machine doesn't need to be made out of tier 3. He's running straight forwards. He's running right where I want him to run. That made pretty light work of him. So we'll back up. We'll spawn in a couple more. And once we've got 2 more in, we'll have another go. Just going to flip the rotation of the bearings the other way around. I think that was pushing him away. So when it hit him, it kind of slammed him down and then threw him away. So this time we're going to bring it, so hopefully it will bring him in, and that way if we can trap him between the wall here and then the actual device itself, maybe it can kind of repeatedly do a lot of hits to him and damage him. So we'll just spawn in a couple more of the bad boys, and yeah, we'll bring 2 in this time. We'll have a look, see how we get on against 2 of them. Just hop inside and yeah, let's go. So they're not rushing at us, and they don't seem any interest in us whatsoever. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so having it spin towards us is a little bit better. He's kind of stuck on top for a little bit. We're able to turn him round, but they do ragdoll really, really well. And we are able just to literally mow these down. And then we can just flick them up like that. We can just spin him around. There we go. He's gone. Now, I was expecting that explosion to take out the concrete, but it seems to be in one piece, which is kind of surprising. I didn't think level 3 concrete actually held up against explosives, but there we go. And then he's gone again. Let's explode him on us this time, see what he takes out. Nope, not a single bit of damage. Okay, so this might be a little bit overpowered. And in all fairness, Other than the front side of this, we don't need half as much of this on here as what we have. We can literally take down the roof and everything. It's just not needed. I'll just spawn a load more in. I'll spawn 3 more in this time, and we'll have a go at 3 and see how we get on. Now we're up against 3, and we've not taken a single bit of damage yet, so it is massively overpowered. It just removes them so easy. So what I might do, being as nobody seems to be shooting any chemical launchers at us or anything, we're just steamrolling straight through these guys as easy as pie. I might look at changing this, take off some of the metal, make it a little bit lighter. And I might even get rid of the pistons, you know, and just have it so it's like a plow. So it's just literally connected straight off the front. So we reduce that issue of the height. And then we just literally drive straight into it. See what we can do there. But this is, yeah, it's massively OP. Either something's changed with these bots or, I don't know. They seem way more OP than they ever have been before. So I'll just tweak this and see where we get to. So we made a few modifications, as you can see. We've kind of chopped it down completely. Turn it into a plow at the front. I've got this spinning the wrong way, so we'll just turn this round. So again, it draws us in, and we'll just spawn a couple more in. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work now, because obviously with the height, we were able to get kind of down above and on top of it a little bit to bring it towards us. Now we're going to be driving at it. I'm not entirely sure how it'll work, but whoa. Well, that's going to cause us a little bit of problem. Just launch one straight out into the middle of no man's land. But we'll just see how we get on against this one guy. Yeah, so now it's still hitting him away, even though we're kind of trying to pull it towards us. It is actually hitting him and launching him further away from us, because we don't have that height advantage that we did have before. He did manage to stop us there, actually. Once he hit into it and ran into it, he stopped us. But if we just continue to batter him, we are stuck on top of him, but he's going to blow up now. And, yeah. No damage. So I don't know if to change the damage that these guys do to the concrete or what, but something's not happening here that I was expecting to happen. These guys should be blasting through this concrete. Concrete, as far as I'm aware, is not indestructible against explosives, so something's not right. But we'll just try against 2. Again, nobody's bothering with chemical cannons, so it's just a little bit easy. Seems like once you've got them ragdolled, you've pretty much got it wood. Now, all this is a controller with level 3 concrete. That's something that everybody is able to do in their survival world. You don't need a machine that's this big. Once it's hit him once and he's ragdolled, then you can just keep going over and hitting them repeatedly again. So it was a nice simple build. But I think we'll leave it there. I think I've proven that it is something that is a little bit overpowered, but it is capable of doing the job. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I don't know what this guy's going to do, but I will see you again next time. Cheers, guys. Take it easy. Bye for now. Bye, guys.